Okay, we'll start off laying down. So close your eyes, settle in. Any laying down posture is great, as long as you can allow your spine to feel very neutral and allow a really big breath to grow. Feel the big rise and fall of your chest and belly, and we'll just breathe here for a few more minutes. Just breathing, just like this. So start to really cultivate that biggest inhale you can and the most complete exhale you can. Use all the torso muscles, belly, ribs, back, chest, even your throat and shoulders. And you have lots of time to just allow this very relaxed posture to do its magic. So release all expectations and don't feel like you have to rush to relax. And just know that your body will naturally let go with each breath a little bit more. Notice the places that feel kind of tense and used a lot. And bring extra awareness to those places, softening a little more intentionally there. I like to imagine I'm breathing into and out of the places that are tense, as if air could move between all the muscle fibers and all the cells. Just a sense of spaciousness. Maybe you've lengthened the breath by a second on the inhale, a second on the exhale. Maybe you'd like to lengthen it a second more. The next time you come up to the very top of your inhale, take in a little bit more and hold right there. Hold right there. And now exhale completely. Completely pull your belly button in towards your spine. Wrap all your abdominal muscles inward. Exhale more. Hold. And inhale fully. See if you might take a few rounds of that complete breath. The complete inhale, holding at the top. And the complete exhale, complete as you can, holding at the bottom. Notice how that feels. Maybe 2 more rounds, just like that. All right, and then let your breath come back to a more natural pace, but hopefully retaining some of the depth and the strength of that huge intentional breath as we begin to move a little bit more. So let's move the upper body first. We're going to reach the arms out long away from the feet. Big breath in here. Palms facing up. And as you exhale, hover your arms just across the floor. Elbows pulling down in towards your ribs. So you're trying to hover. Okay. Inhaling, reach back. Feel your strong shoulders and back a little bit engaged. Exhale, pull the elbows down in it. So you can do what you like with your lower body here. I like to put a little bend just to keep the low back neutral, and a little bend in the knees. The next time you reach your arms out, okay, hold it right there. Keep that really big stretch, and then do scoot your feet up in close to your hips. Okay, get them nice and close so your heels are under your knees. And then engage your core here by pulling your knees slightly toward each other, as if there's a ball between them that you don't want to drop. And then lift your hips nice and high and bring them all the way down. And we'll take a few more breaths up and down in this bridge. So inhaling, hips up. Exhaling, hips down. Okay, keep the ball between your knees, the invisible tennis ball. Your legs are squeezing inward. The heels are pressing downward and almost trying to pull back towards your shoulder blades. And this is a nice massage for your upper back. Okay, so next time you come up, let's just hold there for a little while. Come on up. Pull the knees toward each other. Hips are lifted. And make sure your nose points straight up so you have a long neck on all sides. And then experiment here with taking your arms out to the sides, pressing into the floor, kind of massaging out the tops of your shoulders, the base of your neck, okay? And then kind of using the floor to get a massage. That's pretty much what we're doing. So use it on your shoulder blades. You can kind of roll side to side. Start to bend your elbows and pull them a little bit closer to you, continuing to massage out all the tissues of your back. Until finally your hands are down by your hips and your hips can land. And we'll start to windshield wiper legs here, just getting a little bit twistier in the spine. Palms pressed down, and think of resisting the floor with your upper body while we gently move the lower. So keep a nice breath going here. And maybe start to activate your upper body more against the floor as you drop the knees, maybe a little lower. So we're looking for inner and outer hip opening, low back, release. And you might get some pops. Okay. Next time the legs come back up and in. Knees point up. Pause right there. And we'll just pick up the right knee and drape it over the left. So you can single cross at the knee, or if you want a little bit deeper stretch, you can also double cross at the ankle. It's your choice, but maybe take your arms out a little further this time so we can really scoot the shoulder blades underneath the heart. So maybe make goalpost arms. Upper body presses into the floor, and we'll start to drop the knees side to side here. So for more gentle twisting, kind of more of a limited twist, if you prefer a little, just a more gentle twist, you can keep the feet on the floor. So you can keep your toes on the floor. But if you want a little more, you can pick your feet up, hovering your knees just about level with your hips, and then really use your upper body stability to hover the knees side to side. So let's just take a few more like this, side to side. Remember to keep breathing. Okay, it's a really nice massage for your whole low back. And their hips and glutes getting kind of smooshed on the floor. So helping to release tension there. Okay, next time your knees drop to one side, just whatever side they drop to, leave them there. Look away from them. And we'll twist here. Just breathing. Take maybe 5 or 6 long, slow breaths right here. With each inhale, let your spine get a little longer, maybe arch your spine a little bit up off the floor. And with your exhales, ground your shoulder blades big time and pull your belly button to your spine. Inhale, more space. Exhale, deepen the twist. Maybe one more breath here. All right, bring it through center and keep the right knee crossed on top. We're just gonna drop them to the other side. So whatever side you didn't just do, drop them that way. Look away from them. And let's take 5 or 6 long, slow breaths here. Okay, so with each inhale, you get longer and more lifted in your spine. You're making space. And with each exhale, pull the belly button to your spine and ground your shoulder blades. You can use your upper body to really press down here. All right, let's start to roll that back in. It's a really nice twist, okay? Really gets into your hips all the way up to the base of your skull. So we're just gonna switch sides. So go ahead and untangle your legs, and then let's do the left leg on top. So cross at the knee or at the ankle, and you can start to twist side to side. And then if you wanna pick your feet up and get a little more twisty, you'll use your upper body and you'll activate your core a little more. And by activating your core, you'll warm it up your low back as well. It'll be able to release any low back tension. Glutes can release more easily. All right, next time your knees drop to any side, just let them fall. And we'll hang out here for a little while. So look away from your knees. You might sometimes it's nice to pick up your shoulder blades and kind of move them out away from your hips so that it feels just a much nicer twist. So feel free to experiment with that. Big, long spine inhales. Belly button to spine, exhale. And you're grounding those shoulder blades. Maybe one more big, long breath. And bring it in. Let's send it to the other side and do the other side before we uncross the legs. So drop your knees the other way. Look away from them. Same thing. Big twist here. Long spine inhales. Strong belly exhales. Should be feeling some nice release on that right hip here, outer hip. Who knows, there's a lot going on, so just minimal effort in these postures. Maybe one more breath here. And let's start to bring this back into center. Untangle your legs. Ooh. Bring your knees in here. Take one knee in each hand and we can gently kind of circle the knees out. Okay, really get a big circle. And you want to feel like your hip actually does get a little more warmer, a little warmer and a little more comfortable with this movement. Go ahead and reverse it. Okay, and let's keep the right knee and just extend or put the left foot back on the floor. So we've got the right knee. You can interlace fingers around your shin, or you can get the back of your leg. It's really whatever is most comfortable today, but ground your shoulder blades. Lift your heart. And pull that knee towards your chest. And we'll take a few moments here. So really try to point your nose up, and as the shoulder blades go down, feel your heart go up. And think about releasing tension in that hip. And if you don't feel any tension to release in your right hip, that's great, okay? You can maybe look for a little more by extending your left leg. See if that changes anything. And then see if maybe you want to give your hands a little resistance so your knee can push against your hands here. And see if that changes anything in your right hip. Maybe one more big breath in here. Maybe start to pull the knee over a little bit toward the left and get more into the outer hip. And then release that to let go of your knee and take your hands behind the leg. And release fingers there. And we'll press the heel up to the ceiling. So flexing that ankle, really pulling the toes towards your nose, and engage your quadriceps as well. So try to pull your kneecap towards your hip here. And the more you engage your quadriceps, the more your hamstring on the back of your thigh will be able to release. So with that strong engaged leg, we'll start to flex and extend the knee. Flex, heel comes to glute, and extend, heel goes to the ceiling. Keep the leg active on all sides and combine the elements here of the ankle flex, the knee flex, and the hip flex. Okay, combine all those angles to make the perfect feeling in your hamstring. So you experiment here. And then next time you press up into your hamstring stretch, hold it right there. So make the ankle just right for you. Make the knee just right. You can pull the knee closer to make the hip angle different. Breathe right here. So feel the whole back of the leg. I want you to really push out through the heel, really pull in through the toes and kneecap. Maybe 3 more breaths here. Really great stretch all across the back of the leg, but use the front to help you out. 1 more breath. And go ahead and release that. We'll take a figure 4 from here. So you might want to bend that left knee back in if you extended it. Right foot to the left kneecap. And we'll drop that right knee away from us. So nice press away in the right knee. And depending on how your hips are feeling today, this might be quite enough for your right inner hip. So you can stay right here. If you want a little more, you can pick up that left thigh and grab behind the left thigh. Okay, you can even think of pulling that left knee towards you as the right knee moves away. And I'll give you just kind of a few more options to play with. So we'll just hold this stretch for a few more breaths, maybe 5 or 6. And while we're doing that, here are some things to experiment with. If everything is going pretty well, you can try just grabbing the right foot in your hands and releasing the left leg back to the floor. Notice how it feels, and if it's still feeling pretty good, you can play around with bending your left elbow and hooking your right foot into it and trying to get your head and shoulders back to the ground. Now, they may not come all the way down, and then you'll know that that's just something you can keep working on. You can always bend the knee more if you need to. So play with that. Maybe both arms wrap around your right leg, and you can lay back down. So those are just some options on kind of a spectrum that you can choose from. Getting really deep into that right outer hip and glute, the more you pull the foot in. So one more big breath here in your figure four, whatever you have chosen. And go ahead and release it. We're going to release that right foot all the way down to the floor. Bring the left foot in and let's do some windshield wipers. Okay, notice any differences between the right and left? There's probably a little something. And then knees are pointing up. Let's pause here and do the other side. So the right foot stays on the floor. We'll bring the left knee in and just start to squeeze it in. Okay, fingers interlaced, pull the kneecap towards your heart. And just pause where you feel like it's enough. And you want to ground your shoulder blades. Think of lifting your heart while you do that. So in general, any muscle needs about 30 seconds to lengthen under tension. So for the first 30 seconds of any kind of stretch or tissue lengthening, you're just waiting and breathing. So always give it time. All right, as your hip starts to let go a little bit, you might pull it in closer. You might pull the kneecap over towards your right side, but try not to lift your left hip. It's a little challenging. Breathe there. And then maybe start to resist your hands a little bit with the knee. Okay, notice if you kind of push the knee into your hands as the hands pull. How does that feel? Maybe combined with extending the right leg. You could also try hovering the right leg. That's another option to play with. Okay, always interpret and play around with options. All right, as you're ready, we're extending this left leg. So grab behind the thigh and find a really nice press up through the heel. And take a few breaths just doing that. Start to pull that kneecap towards you and keep a really nice flex in the foot, okay, in the ankle, and we'll flex and extend the knee. So pull the heel to your glute, push the heel to the ceiling, and keep breathing. So remember to keep the leg active in the front and the back. Sometimes we forget because we're stretching the back of the leg, but that means we need to use the front. So quadriceps, big powerful chunks of muscle on the top of your thigh. We're really rocking those to let the hamstring let go. So now that we've warmed things up a little bit, let's press up toward the ceiling and hold. So combine the 3 flexions here. Flexion at the hip, flexion at the knee, flexion at the ankle. And you define that perfect hamstring stretch with those 3 flexes. Okay, breathing here, grounding your shoulder blades. Remember to activate the quads. Maybe one more big breath right here. And let it go. Okay, heading to a figure 4 stretch. So we can start gently by moving that right knee back up, and we can put the left ankle on top of it. And so start here, just allowing the left hip to gently open up to the ceiling. Notice how it feels. And ask yourself if this is enough or if you want to move a little deeper into it. So always feel free to stop and just take a break wherever you are. But if you want a little more from that left hip, you can pick up the right foot, grab behind the right thigh. And ground your shoulder blades here. Continue to gently press the left knee away. So it's important when we're opening up into this figure 4 stretch that we don't let the left leg get passive, okay? So continue to always activate the left knee away from you so that you can release in the appropriate places. And you're drawing the right knee towards you maybe to bring that left foot closer to your face. Maybe you can just grab the left foot with your hands and release the right leg out long. Okay, play with that. Maybe you'd like to put the foot a little closer to you. Perhaps today, maybe another day, or maybe another lifetime. But at least you know there's a spectrum ahead to kind of play with. You can always play with elbow to foot. The other elbow can wrap around the knee, and you can hug this limb that you love so much, your left leg, into your chest. Really releasing across the outside of the left, that whole side of the leg, the glute, the hip, the IT band. So running, cycling, really lights all that up. Maybe one more breath wherever you are in your figure 4, releasing the last little shreds of tension from that left hip. And then release from this. We'll take a few more windshield wipers. So both feet on the floor. Walk it out side to side. Legs should be feeling nice. Okay, from here, tuck your hands behind your knees. And we'll just rock it up. Just one time. Come on up. Come to a seat. Just want to get a little bit into upper body here. Let the lower body kind of relax and soak in all that work. Okay, we did some good stretching. So arms out really wide here. And you can just close your eyes. I'll just use my words so you can just rest your eyes. Let your shoulders drop down your back and almost feel like your arms are wings, the way they kind of cascade back off of a bird's shoulders. And feel the breadth of your chest here. Notice when your hands move back, your chest gets broader, okay, kind of a flying movement back. The shoulder blades support the heart upward and forward. I really want you to capitalize on that action, okay, that our bodies have evolved, that particular capability, that flying forward movement as you start to circle out your arms. So using that hand moving back to open up the chest. Hands move back, big circles in all directions. So as you move, keep your arm really active. Think of reaching out and pulling back at the same time. Big circles. So notice where it's challenging when the hands go back. And let's reverse this. Take it back the other way. More. Big and slow. Right, releasing tension in the fronts of your shoulders. Maybe one more time. I know the shoulders are getting warm. And then drop your hands down in front. Let your shoulders rest. Notice all the warmth in your upper body and your chest now. Getting all that circulated and soft. And we'll start to get a little bit more into your lower body. So a little bit more stretching in your lower body from here. Go ahead and extend your left leg and keep your right foot stepping on your left thigh. Okay. And nice and tall in your spine. Fingertips down in front of you. Think of grounding your sitting bones. And then again, keep the top of your leg active. And the back of your leg will be lengthening, okay? But we're also using the back of the leg by slightly kicking down in that left heel. And we'll just take our time breathing deeply here. Long spine for your inhale. And your heart thinks of moving towards your toes on the exhale. And it doesn't matter if you move any closer or not. Really not important how far you fold at all. It's more of a feeling you're looking for, a feeling of opening on the back of the leg. But maybe now also in your low back. Maybe come to your elbows. We'll take a few more breaths here. So as you allow your spine to round here, you're acknowledging that it's going to round. Keep it lengthened as much as you can. Keep pulling back in the toes so you're flexing the top, front, and the bottom, the back of the leg. And if your forehead comes to rest on your shin, just make sure your neck stays long. A few more breaths here. Think of gently resisting the floor. Once you're ready, walk yourself up and in. Just take your time coming up. And we'll twist a little bit here. So picking up your right knee to point it up. Just ground your right foot on the floor. And you can use both arms to hug in that right knee and make a long spine. Okay, we'll start to twist from here using this right leg. We're going to revolve kind of around the right leg. So the left arm can hold it. The right fingers behind you can make your spine a little longer. And you're inhaling to be tall and long. And exhaling to look a little more over your shoulder. Think belly button to spine. Maybe one more breath in this really nice twist. If you want a little more, take that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And then we'll start to bring that back through center, come back around, extend the right leg, and we'll switch sides. So this time the right leg will be extended, the left foot will pull in and step on the right thigh. So we're really just opening more into the back of the legs and more into the back of the body here, okay? So just kind of get yourself aware of the front and the back of the right leg. So do activate the front, do activate the back. The whole back and front chain is a little bit engaged, and we start to use that activity to lengthen a little bit. So long spine inhale. Heart towards your toes, exhale. Then take your time. We have some time, there's no rush. So continue resisting the floor with your legs. Breathing deeply, moving your heart towards your ankle. And maybe eventually you want to just let your head go. Okay, maybe one more really big breath here. Just enjoy. Folds can be so calming. Okay, roll yourself up. And let's turn it into a twist. So left knee points up, left foot on the floor. Hold the knee close, just sit up tall. Okay, we can hang out right here, or we can turn it into a twist. Looking over that left shoulder, right knee, right elbow holds left knee. So you can keep it gentle, or you can make it a bit deeper by taking that right elbow to the outer left knee. And you want to think of lengthening up out of your belly button on the inhale. Belly button to spine on the exhale. Ground your hips. Move the shoulder blades back. Okay, find some extra space in your back. And bring all that back in. And this time, let's bring feet together, just out in front of you. And you can put them close to you or far away. You can kind of adjust it as you go along. I like to make kind of a square shape out of mine. That's kind of try to make the angles equal. And then fingers down. You can have them on your knees. You can kind of rest them on your knees, your shins, your ankles. But same idea here as when we were folding with one straight leg. Let's have long spine inhales and exhales that pull the heart forward. So find some time here. Just close your eyes. Keep your hands on something because we want to keep the upper body supported when it's like this. But if you want to come down to your elbows, walking your hands out, that's great. Keep resisting the floor slightly with your legs and notice if that helps you release downward. And it's possible that at some point your forehead will come all the way to your feet. Take maybe 3 or 4 more breaths here. Okay, take your time rolling up and out of this. No rush. But start to press your hands, walk them closer up towards your hips, and bring yourself up and out. And we'll get the legs out long here. And I just want to flip you over onto your belly. So come on down to your belly. And we're going to stretch out shoulders and chest a little bit because we did the legs pretty well. So let's just make sure the upper body is open too. So elbows in by your ribs, palms underneath your shoulders. We'll just take a few gentle cobras just to warm your upper body up a little bit. So gripping the mat, pull your heart forward on the inhale. You can think of pressing your tailbone down and lifting your heart. And you're exhaling to roll it down. This can be a really small cobra, just lifting your heart a few inches. Or it can be a really big and exciting cobra. It's really up to you. But take maybe 3 more, just like you like. So I want to feel like you're really pulling your elbows inward, strengthening your shoulders, and using your arms. Okay, next time you come up into your cobra, let's just take 3 breaths there, just wherever you are. Tailbone pulling down, heart pulling up. 2 more. One more big breath into your shoulders. And then come on down. Go ahead and take your arms into a cactus shape. And now we're really going to release all that shoulder tissue. It's going to feel great. So looking to the right, keeping your arms in this cactus shape, keeping your left arm in this cactus shape. Use your right hand to roll onto your left side. So there you are. And you're feeling a really big stretch in your left shoulder, maybe your chest. So feel free to slide the left elbow up or down and adjust exactly where you want it. And then once you find that perfect spot, you can commit by tucking the left knee in. And here you are. So close your eyes. And breathe into this posture. Breathe into the shoulder. Maybe you feel a gentle twist happening. Enjoy that twist. And you can back out of it by dropping your right shoulder low. Or you can deepen it and roll into it by pulling your right shoulder back. Maybe reaching your right hand up. Maybe dropping that right hand all the way across your back. And see if you can stick your fingers underneath your side. Take more time here. And think of maybe deepening it a bit more if you like by resisting the floor with your left hand. How would it feel if you just pushed down a little into the left hand? Does it give you more release in the shoulder? Maybe one more breath here. And we'll take our time rolling out. So no rush. Start to straighten your legs. Roll into your belly. And the right hand, the right arm can turn into a cactus out on the right now. And you look to the left. The left hand can roll you onto your right side. So here's where you adjust the right elbow. You can move it up or down so it feels just right. And then pull the right knee in when you're ready to kind of relax into it. And I'll spin around to face you. So we'll take some time here. So get comfortable. Let the left foot rest on the floor. Try gently resisting the floor with the right hand here. Notice if that helps the shoulder to open up. Chances are it will. Think of maybe lifting that left hand and dropping that across your back. You can tuck the fingers under your right side maybe. Maybe one more breath right here. This is a nice one to take some time in. And let's bring it all back around. Okay, back onto your belly. Hands down, legs straight. Roll back down. And then tuck your toes here. Bring it up through hands and knees. And we'll take a nice wide knee puppy pose. So really wide with your knees. You can tuck your toes or untuck them, but install your hips just about over your knees. And then lifting your belly button away from the floor. Try to walk your hands out without moving your hips forward. So we're finding a big stretch in your chest and your shoulders here. That's what we're looking for. And notice if you lift your belly button here, does it allow a little more space in your chest? That's what we're looking at. Big heart. So you can rest the forehead. You can come up on your fingertips maybe. You can drop your chin, look at your hands. Just remember to breathe, long spine, inhale. Heart down, exhale. As you're ready, start to peel yourself up and out of this. Peel yourself up. And we'll take a little child's pose modification that I call a rock pose. So let's pick up the right knee, point it back, point it to the left, and then put it on the floor. And then you can rest your right foot on the floor with the toes pointed to the left. And then if you walk your hands back, you might be able to just sit on your right foot. So just sit on your foot. And the left leg is just draped across the right. So from here, you can just sit up if that's most comfortable. Or if you want to just gently press the feet and the legs downward, you might be able to fold over your legs and just let your head hang. And just breathe here. Breathe space into the glutes, hamstrings, the back. Think of gently resisting the floor with your legs. And we're just going to come up and switch sides slowly. So take your time peeling yourself up, back to hands and knees, and switching sides. So right knee down, left knee back, to the right and down. If you sit on your left foot, just take a moment to get yourself seated on your left foot so the right leg just drapes across. And I like to start by sitting up straight, gently pressing the legs downward, and then fold from there. Allow all the rest, any remaining tension in your body to melt away here. Let your lips be floppy, your jaw slack. Your forehead is just melted. And even the back of your neck can let go a little bit here. And start to roll yourself back up out of this. And then if you either come to a seat and lean back, or you can come forward through hands and knees, find some way onto a seat. And we're going to roll back in slow motion here. So once you're in your seat, get your legs out front. Sit up tall and then start to round your spine as you reach forward. So tailbone will point at your toes. Your belly button will slide back. And see if you can roll one vertebra at a time down. Notice if it's extra challenging somewhere. And go extra slow there. Keep breathing, keep rolling very slowly. All right, once your head finally lands, release your arms. Release your whole body down into Shavasana, or any resting posture. At this point, we are at the most important part of your yoga practice, where we rest and let all of the experiences integrate into your long-term memory. We allow your muscles to cool in their new balanced and recalibrated lengths. Okay? We allow your nervous system time to assimilate all that happened. And at this point, you can completely surrender all control over your breath, your body, and your mind. Just let go. Just float in this moment, effortless, blissful, aware of this moment. Let the jaw hang. The breath sound like a distant wave. Notice thoughts as they arise, and then bring your awareness back to the moment. What's happening now? So please keep resting just like this for as long as you can. The longer, the better. Although 5 minutes is 5 minutes is good. Maybe even take a little nap if you can. But thank you so much for joining me and taking good care of yourself today.